In this video, you'll learn the genuine secret of how I consistently make money, how my dedicated team and I, and especially myself, earn significant profits in more than 80% of our trades, and accordingly, how I manage to achieve these impressive results without doing much extensive analysis. So you'll get all the essential tools that will truly help you make money. So, get comfortable. And after watching this video, if you do everything correctly, you really will be able to earn large sums of money. I'll share all the valuable secrets, special effective tricks, and also ready to use practical tools. So please sit back and let's get started with this insightful video. To commence my initial series of trades, I am not entirely certain how it will ultimately turn out just yet. Let us begin with the European Euro and the Swiss franc currency pair. I select this currency pair. The trade duration is 1 minute. And now I just patiently wait for a clear signal from BoosterBot. I then get a sell signal and promptly open my sell trade right from this exact point here. Look, to work properly and effectively with BoosterBot, you truly need to understand a few crucial things, which I will certainly share with you later on in this very video. There's nothing particularly difficult about it, but honestly, if you truly want to make a series of consistently profitable trades, which is quite often entirely possible with it, sometimes even up to 9 or perhaps 10 trades in a row closing in profit, you just need to follow a few very simple instructions. And right now, we'll discuss all these instructions in detail. But for the moment, you can observe the impressive results of our students as well as our partners who actively trade with BoosterBot. As you can see, the statistics are really good. And most importantly, these statistics are strong in the long term. So it's not like the tool just works for a week and then completely stops. No, really, there are people who have been with us for more than 2 years already. They've seen all the iterations of BoosterBot almost from the very beginning. And indeed, our statistics have significantly improved, and as a direct result, people are still actively trading with us and continue to trust us. We truly appreciate this and sincerely thank you, and we constantly strive to further improve our product. As you can see, I earn $900. So let's move on to the main settings. In the meantime, I want to remind you that you can get this robot right now by following the link in the description. All you need to do is go to the description under this video or to the pinned comment. Activate BoosterBot and it will give you all the instructions. In just 5 minutes, you'll be able to start receiving signals from it. You don't need to download anything, you don't need to register anywhere, and you can start earning with it right away. But let's move on to all the settings. The very first thing is adaptation. This is a very important step that for some reason many people skip and don't listen to us about. But BoosterBot needs to be adapted. It really does need to be adapted. And this is a very important step. How does adaptation work? First, I receive a sell signal, and let's observe this trade. Now let me explain. When you start trading, at first, BoosterBot won't be configured. That is, it won't be tailored specifically for you yet. Since it's artificial intelligence, it inherently possesses the functionality to adapt to an individual trader's specific needs. So how do we recommend setting it up and what truly works best for optimal performance? For example, you might choose one particular currency pair. It can be any pair with any volatility. Next, you select a single time frame. That is, you need to lock it in. We also recommend fixing the amount. You can choose a small amount, for example, 5% or 10%. So you've actually now fixed these 3 parameters. And then with the BoosterBot, for a single currency pair at the same time frame, you typically need to get anywhere from 5 to 10 distinct signals. The more signals you are able to acquire, the better the overall adaptation will undoubtedly be. So what precisely happens after this crucial adaptation? The BoosterBot then truly starts adjusting to your specific trading. Yes, unfortunately, there may be losses, but you shouldn't get upset about that. Losing trades, unfortunately, do happen. But then, I truly believe there will be a very good streak of winning trades, since statistically speaking, we typically get about just 1 loss for every 8 or 9 successful trades. So 1 win, 1 loss, and then most likely it will be all wins after that. Alright, let's pick another currency pair and continue talking about adaptation. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. I'm choosing this currency pair. I will now proceed to BoosterBot and carefully select this specific currency pair. The trade duration for this particular transaction is set to 1 minute. I get a buy signal and open a buy trade right from here. So look, here's what happens during the adaptation process. When you open 5 trades with BoosterBot, the bot starts counting from the precise moment the signal is initially received to the exact moment you actively press the buy or sell button. Accordingly, this specific time duration can be quite different for everyone involved. For some people, it might be 5 seconds. For others, it might take, for example, 15 seconds. So what exactly does BoosterBot do? It starts adapting individually to you. So if it observes that you take a considerable amount of time to think, for example, to make a crucial decision, after these initial 5 trades, it will inherently understand that you require some extra time. and it will add this time into its analysis. You don't need to worry about this. BoosterBot will really adapt to you, and as a result, your in-game statistics and your overall win rate percentage will significantly increase. So this is a nice bonus that artificial intelligence gives us, the fact that we can train it individually. For example, if you used to trade for a long time, like 15 seconds, and you had a long delay, to update BoosterBot so that it starts adapting to you again, you need to press the start command. Accordingly, you press this command and the counter starts up again. If you just trade with it like a regular trader, it will basically understand that you can work quickly anyway, and then the adaptation will only take a few extra seconds for you. Or there might not be any adaptation at all if you constantly change currency pairs. So, I strongly recommend that you go through the adaptation process and open at least 5 to 10 trades on one currency pair for the same time period. BoosterBot will really get used to you and accordingly will be able to provide higher quality signals tailored specifically for you. British pound, Canadian dollar. I choose this currency pair and I get a sell signal. I open a sell trade right from here. There's a good downward movement here, so our trade is opened with the trend. Let's watch this trade and fast forward. As we can clearly see, the trade successfully closes in significant profit and ultimately brings me a substantial $855. Good, let's continue. For the next currency pair, we choose the US dollar and Canadian dollar. Accordingly, I switch to the BoosterBot. I select this currency pair and set the trade time to 1 minute. I get a buy signal. I open a buy trade right from here. And while we wait for the trade to finish, I want to remind you that right now you can follow the link in the description and activate this robot. So if you truly want to achieve a consistently good win rate in your trading, then please go to the link in the description and activate the powerful BoosterBot. An excellent trade brings me another 1200 in profit. For the next currency pair, I carefully choose the euro and the Swiss franc. I then proceed to the BoosterBot, select this specific currency pair, and meticulously set the trade time to exactly 1 minute. I get a clear sell signal and then open a sell trade right from this precise point here. Next, immediately after this particular trade, I will share with you the absolute most important life hack that will truly and significantly help you to increase your overall win rate. Besides adaptation, there's another very effective trick, but even without this particular trick, the BoosterBot already performs exceptionally well. And with a small, additional, and quite significant trick, which I will gladly share with you after this current trade, your overall win rate can truly increase by another 20 or even a full 30%. If, for example, you are currently achieving a 70 or 80% win rate with the BoosterBot, you can genuinely reach an impressive 90% win rate. Let's watch this trade. An excellent trade brought me another $1,300 in profit. As you can see, I'm not doing any analysis. I simply trade based on the BoosterBot signals, and this has already given me excellent stats with just one loss the entire time. Yes, it might be unpleasant if that loss happens at the beginning, but after that you completely relax, and as a result, you won't even pay attention to the loss. When you get a loss at the very beginning, it means you have done something wrong, and it's certainly worth thinking about. Now, I will show you the main trick when working with the BoosterBot. We need to switch to regular Japanese candlesticks, go to the chart type, and then select 5 seconds. And it's precisely the new 5-second candle that will be our life hack. Let me explain with a practical example. Next, we select the currency pair Euro-Australian dollar. I go to the BoosterBot, choose this currency pair, and set the trade time to 1 minute. And I get a sell signal. Now I just need to wait for a new 5-second candle, and right from here I open a sell trade. By the way, this actually turned out to be a great example. The BoosterBot actually gave me a clear sell signal right here, but I patiently waited for a brand new 5-second candle to form, and all of this significant distance that the price has already moved is indeed a very nice and welcome bonus for me. That happens sometimes. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes the price stays in place or moves down by 2 or 3 points, so it's not really critical. But sometimes a new 5-second candle gives us this kind of impulse, and the very next candle immediately goes down. So we understand that right here we can enter and accordingly capture all this movement. That's why really the 5-second candle is the perfect entry point. It's better to use it with the BoosterBot, especially when you're adapting the bot for yourself. I recommend you start using this scenario right away. The bot will also calculate for you starting from the new 5-second candle. In other words, it recognizes this scenario. This is actually a common way for us to trade with the bot, so the bot knows this method. We've trained it for this, and as a result, you'll be able to catch the very best entry points with it. As you can see, there's already 100,000 bucks on my balance. Managed to reach that amount pretty quickly. But let's open just one final trade. Let's carefully choose the popular euro-dollar currency pair. I'm selecting this specific pair, and the trade duration is precisely 1 minute. And I get a signal to sell. We wait for a new 5-second candle. There's no rush. And on that candle, we open a sell trade. So as you can see, we didn't even use this particular method here. In other words, the price essentially stayed in the same place, so I couldn't really choose anything here. At that moment, the impulse continued. This is actually an entry point that doesn't always work effectively. Sometimes it's quite completely useless indeed. That is to say, the price will likely stay at precisely the same level, and there's absolutely nothing we can effectively do about it. But sometimes, there will be truly perfect entry points. You could even accurately call them sniper entries. As you can clearly see, this particular trade has already brought me 17 points, and I ended up with a really good and positive result. I'm also adding $1,100 to my balance. Right now, you can see the number of profitable trades I made on the screen, the number of losing trades, and you can calculate the statistics yourself. So really, all I did was, first of all, I already had a robot that was adapted for me. Secondly, I was trading at the end of new 5-second candles. But even without that, I already had good trades. So this just increases our chances even further by 10 to 30% overall. So if you want to earn in the same way, just as easily with the booster bot, especially since it works on the OTC market when the main markets are closed and on weekends. So right now, go ahead and activate this incredible robot and you'll really be able to earn just as easily and effectively with it. If you have any further questions left, then please write to our dedicated support account, to our manager account, and the team will certainly help you and explain everything you absolutely need to do, how best to activate it. And accordingly, you'll be able to do this very, very quickly. In short, I'm leaving all the links in the description. Well, with that, I'll say goodbye to you. See you soon.